Welcome back to the ABZ Coaster of the Week tournament. Last week, you guys voted for 8 coasters out of a selection of 32 from the A to Z Coaster of the Week individual videos. And it looks like we've got 8 really solid coasters that have to go head to head today. So, why don't we recap every single match from last week, talk about my thoughts and all that. So, let's get into that. So, first match, we had El Toro, the Intamin Prefab, beat out some really good rides actually. You had Phantom's Revenge, the awesome Morgan Hyper. That didn't looks like it's got some awesome airtime, but I'd say it isn't too much of it, and it's not a very long ride either. And there's only airtime like the last third of the ride. So, and Python and Bambi Forest looks like a great GCI, but it's still a GCI. I mean GCIs staple you pretty good usually, and I'm sure they would in China. So. But very long ride, looks awesome. Anaconda could be the best invert in the world. It's still shrouded in mystery for everybody, but looks like an awesome ride. But I mean, really, El Toro, are you kidding? This thing has some of the strongest airtime, some nice intensity, just one of the best wooden coasters in the world. So that definitely deserved to win over all of those other coasters. So cool. We got Helix at Leesburg that won the second match, and I probably agree with this one. I mean, like a Yamaha racing coaster totally destroys. That thing's like short as hell, and ice speed. This is probably the closest coaster to Helix, I'd say, in this match at least. And I might actually prefer ice speed. The launch is definitely better. The airtime is stronger, though there's not as much of it. The inversions are way better on ice speed, but it's a much shorter ride than Helix. Helix is super long. At the multi-launch. That's what you get. So, I mean, it's really down, like, if you want a really intense, out-of-control ride, then you probably want ice speed. If you like, a smoother, longer, more re-rideable ride, you go over Helix. And X2, I think, was jerky as hell for me when I rode it, but it is very insane. Probably more insane than every other coaster in the match, but the roughness for me just keeps it out of the picture. So, yeah, that's that. In the third round, we had T-Express at Everland, the prefab, another prefab beating out some also pretty good rides. You got Darling Dragon, the awesome Gravity Group dueling wooden coaster in China. That thing was awesome as well. Loving the PTC trains on those. Yeah. um, yeah. What else am I going to say? Let's see here. Great airtime, great laterals, but I mean, come on, T-Express is a prefab. Prefabs have awesome airtime. The thing is, though, I think this coaster is starting to get a little bit overrated. A lot of people are saying, oh, it's the best wooden coaster in the world. It's better than El Toro. I'm going to say El Toro is still better because, I mean, the only thing that's really a mystery to me is that first half. Like, how much better is the drop? How much better is the first hill? And how good are those turns that lead up to the mid-course brake run that, again, destroys the pacing? So El Toro doesn't have any pacing problems, and obviously the second half of T-Express is just a sped-up balder. So it's really down to how it all compares to El Toro for me. And okay, I just want to win that. So that's Darling Dragon, T-Express, Yankee Cannonball, those buzz bars. Oh man, love buzz bars. But T-Express has like some seriously strong airtime. I'd probably take T-Express over a weak airtime, but still standing airtime, Yankee Cannonball. And Maverick, this is probably the closest coaster to it, and part of me wants to say Maverick is better because I'm starting to think T-Express is overrated, but I don't really know. Maverick's obviously, it is the king of variety, some awesome, strong ejector airtime, awesome intensity, but I mean, I'd still probably get the T-Express here. Yeah, Maverick is my number one and all, but T-Express is probably better. So anyway, moving on, we got fourth match, Lightning Rod. This one, kind of a no-brainer. Quimera, great, awesome Schwarzkopf that really beats you up, but Lightning Rod, this thing. I mean, I talk to anybody about Lightning Rod, but they'll tell you it's in their top 5 probably. And we got Zeus and Mount Olympus. That's just a silly, rough CCI. And Ultra Twister, which is a very fun ride, I'm sure, but very short and kind of weird. But, I mean, come on, Lightning Rod. Are you kidding me, man? Moving on, we got Outlaw Run. This one, actually, I'm going to disagree with this one because Phoenix at Knoebels is incredible. So, and I might even put Balder above Outlaw Run. I'm not too sure. Outlaw Run, I hear it's a little rough. maybe not. I have no idea. I have to ride it and see. But I mean, it looks awesome. If you take out the roughness, which I'm sure there really isn't that much roughness, so maybe I'm making too much a big deal about it. But I know some people who do. Um, the pacing is actually perfect on this ride. Like it leads up to the best moment, like at the very end, which is awesome. That's exactly what you want in a coaster. Um, some great airtime, great inversions, obviously, just awesomeness, great pacing. I've already said all this. We have Phoenix, those buzz bars. I'd probably put Phoenix over this though, just because there's so much like controlled, awesome standing airtime on Phoenix that seems to me better than like a more tame Outlaw Run. I mean, it's a very tame ride. I mean, not really. Balder's actually even more tame than all the coaches here, besides Ravine Flyer 2, which shouldn't have even won the R Week to begin with. But yeah, Balder, I would have given, I'd say 1 Phoenix, 2 Balder, 3 Outlaw Run for this one. Like, I don't know, Balder. These are all like some really, really great rides. Balder, I mean, come on. Awesome airtime, but there's no intensity, no lateral, so I don't like to call it a true prefab just because of that. But I don't know. I guess the only true prefabs then would be El Toro and T Express. So that's probably just my American bias going crazy. But yeah, so that's my thoughts on that. And then we got Expedition G-Force beating out some pretty cool rides. We got Goliath at Hollowby Holland. Yes, very good. Hollowby Holland. It's basically just a smaller version of EGF. So that makes sense that Expedition G-Force won. Though that Stego Dive is pretty cool, I'll admit. And Jungle Trailblazer, the inverting ones, those also look like some awesome rides. It's probably closer to this than you'd think, but it's in China and we always overlook those. So it got like no votes. Awesome, really great airtime, a cool inversion. Awesome laterals, obviously, but I mean it's still just a Gravity Group with those darn Timberliners, which I get to try out next year on Clue Cullen. But yeah, I'm really curious to see how much airtime that you get in those Timberliners. Those are some cool looking trains. Anyway, Wildfire at Kilmartin, that's probably the closest coaster everybody would agree to Expedition G-Force. I'm glad Expedition G-Force won, actually, because Wildfire, I'm starting to think it's a little overrated. The pacing isn't awesome, especially at the end. It just kind of does some meaningless turns. And there's not as much airtime as I would like on an RMC. I mean, the inversions are cool, but I'd probably rather have airtime where those inversions are. So anyway, moving on to the 7th match, Sky Rush at Hershey Park beat some. This is probably the closest match out of all of them because a coaster at Playland might be better than Sky Rush. I'm not positive. See, like I know how much I love Buzz Bars on Swamp Fox. Maybe coaster at Playland. You get even more room and there's even stronger airtime and laterals. Maybe that's as good or even better than Sky Rush and I-305 and Nemesis. I'd say I'd still vote for Sky Rush on this one, but part of me really wants to say Coaster at Playland's better. Not because I like to have the unpopular opinion, but because I seriously think those buzz bars are awesome. And I-305, obviously, I-305 and Sky Rush need to be compared a lot, and I'm still sticking with Sky Rush, but I-305, obviously, it's got the awesome intense turn and all that. But Sky Rush has so much stronger airtime. It's probably got more intense moments than I-305, maybe, but I don't know about like sustained intensity. I-305 takes that category. And Nemesis, in my opinion, the best B&M invert, but who really knows? It's got that awesome helix, but that's really it. It's still a great ride for sure. So, but yeah, Sky Rush, I can agree with this one. So anyway, moving on. Last round, Voyage at Holiday World. Destroyed. Well, I not really destroyed because Fury 325 is pretty overrated, and some people think it's better than this amazing beast of a ride. I should not have said that because now you're going to think, oh, well, Beast dead. Beast of Kings Island wasn't even on here. Yes, because it sucks. I've ridden it. Anyway, Fury 325, yeah, that ride got a lot of votes against Voyage, and that kind of ticks me off because, Voyage is just a legend. It truly is the legend of coasters in general. It's amazing. It's way too long. It's longer than Fury. I mean, come on, man. You can't actually. Is it longer than Fury? I'm gonna say it probably isn't, but like duration wise, it is, and duration's all you need on a coaster, really. I mean, if it's a good coaster, then then you're all set. Cannibal and Carn, and those are actually some kind of similar rides, which is funny. They both have some really really nice whippy moments. I can compare that to both of them, but and they have two. They both have some nice hang time. Well, Karnan in the final version, but Karnan's got some really awesome airtime. Cannibal, I can't really say the same for. I'd say one voyage to Karnan, and the rest is history because America is overrated in general. So yeah, so that was my thoughts on all those. So this is what the bracket's looking like now. We got El Toro versus Helix versus T Express versus Lightning Rod. So you vote for one of those four coasters in the top right corner of the video. And you also got Outlaw Run, Xers and G-Force versus Skyrush versus Voyage. So you vote for one of those four in the top right. So I'll see you guys later.